Welcome, my friends, to the Spirituality, Healing, and Vision Quest podcast, where we're going to take a deep dive into universal spiritual principles and ground them in modern day practices that you can apply to your life today. Hi, my name is Beth Berkins, and I want you to know that I am really committed to simplifying ancient wisdom practices. I've been studying them for over 40 years now and inside of them, and I want to give you easy to understand, proven, and reliable keys that are going to unlock true sources of power and healing for you. You're going to walk away from this podcast with some practical tools to create that greater meaning and purpose, that larger purpose that your soul is calling you to. All right, so let's get going on the next episode. Thanks for joining me. Hello, my friend. Welcome to my wonderful podcast, you wonderful listener. I'm Beth Berkins, and this is Spirituality, Healing, and the Vision Quest. I think, it's really no coincidence that you and I are meeting here today on this podcast. I believe this is by divine appointment. I'm thinking that you are a spiritual seeker. You're searching for answers, perhaps, or perhaps healing, maybe for that inner roadmap to power and purpose, that inner compass. Maybe looking for signposts to guide you on your spiritual path. The people I work with tell me things like, I've fallen off my path. I've just kind of drifted away. I want to get back. Or maybe you're somebody who's new to spirituality and to your spirit path. You're trying to find that path, a place where you feel more fulfilled and at peace. People so often tell me, I just want to be at peace. I want to relax. I want to feel like I'm at home. Help me find my way, Beth. That connectedness to source is what so many people are looking for right now, seeking. Or maybe, you've been on your spiritual path for a while now, and you're seeking those larger connections, those greater inputs from spirit. What I want to say to you, my friend, is that this is a noble search that you're on. It's really a sacred, holy thing to be calling out for purpose, for guidance, for support, to be reaching out with your heart, feeling those yearnings and those longings for more. I love what the great poet Hafiz said centuries ago. He said, wherever you are, that's your entry point. So, we translate that to mean you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. As Mary Oliver said, you don't have to crawl through the desert on your knees for 100 miles repenting. You don't need a plan. You don't need cliff notes. You don't need an outline. You just show up like you have today. Even if, you've got some fear going on, some circumstances in your life, you're feeling maybe a bit overwhelmed or a lot overwhelmed. Maybe some doubts, some, a wall you're coming up against, some limitations. You just show up, as Hafiz has recommended to us. This is the entry point, right here, right now, in this very minute. And so I say to you, congratulations, bravo, for getting yourself right here, right now, where you're on this beautiful search. So I'm excited to share with you this wonderful quote from my friend and shamanic teacher, Tom Cohen, from his book. What he says about this spiritual path, I think this is really fascinating. He says, the search for a spiritual practice can be confusing at times, because really what we're seeking is a path for the soul. A path for the soul. And the soul's true journey through life can be hidden in the shadows, kind of just beneath the surface, just beneath our conscious awareness. So we translate that and we realize, wow, how important it is that we really pay attention to the signs and the signals that we're getting in our daily lives, the intimations, the hints, the glimpses that can come in a dream, the whispers from the universe, the synchronicities that just happen across our path. You know, we're wanting to look into a particular subject and a book appears. Somebody hands us an article. You know, just in that moment when it's your next step. Those are signs, synchronicities of things wanting to happen, things wanting to guide you. So we want to really pay attention to those. I want to briefly share a story with you about one of my amazing Vision Quest clients. Her name is Valerie. And when she came to me, she was in this deep, deep search. She said she felt very empty and she was having anxiety and starting to kind of fall into a place of depression because she was missing the spiritual connections that she had as a kid. She was so dialed in, you know, she had dreams that foretold the future. She could kind of read people's energies and auras. And then she went into her studies of psychology. She became a highly successful psychologist in her field, but it pulled her away. It distracted her from the spiritual path, which had been so strong for her as a kid. And these yearnings just were right there and she didn't know what to do about them. So I taught her the shamanic journey method of healing and empowerment. And she met her power animal helper, who turned out to be a great bear. You know, what is shamanism? It's seeing with the heart and traveling with the spirit, going into an altered state of consciousness so you can really connect with those deeper sources of wisdom and guidance. And as she worked with the teachings, the ceremonies inside of the Vision Quest and worked with her power animal, she started to feel whole again. She was able to really listen to these deeper callings, these deeper longings that were like beneath the surface, right? To really connect with her spiritual path, and especially her love of plants and plant medicines and essential oils, native plants in particular. She longed to connect with those. She'd been connected with plants as a kid. This long lost desire surfaced in her. And she stepped right into the role of healer. As she began to work with those plants and make essential oils, and her friends found out and she offered them to her friends, she stepped right onto her path. And she now helps people with the remedies that she makes. She found her spiritual path through working with her power animal, through shamanic healing, and through the Vision Quest process. So let's circle around and bring this right back to you, my friend. You're here on your own quest, on your own search. Am I right? Feel free to respond to me in the Q&A box when we close this circle. I'd love to hear, where are you? So in your soul's search for your spiritual path, let's bring that out of the shadows into the light of this day, right where you are right now, walking your dog, driving your car, sitting in your recliner. What can you do today? That's really the question. That's why we're here. What can you do to take a step onto your path and forge your own connections with spirit? Valerie did it. If she can do it, you can do it. And so I'm going to suggest something to you. Excuse me. The next step in your process. We've got a lot of pollen here right now, so in the Shamanic Vision Quest process, you want to do shamanic ceremony. And so I'm inviting you into ceremony. Ceremony is a very simple practice that you do very intentionally, going out onto the earth with, some cornmeal. Just, after you complete the podcast, go into your cupboard, get some grains of rice rather, some cornmeal, or perhaps some, dried oatmeal flakes. Get those in your hand. This is going to be your offering to spirit. This is a very traditional way of connecting, building a bridge to the spirit world. And it's fun. And it's just so meaningful. If you've never done this before, I think you're really going to love this process. You take this offering in your hand and you go outside. Maybe your front yard has a tree, your backyard has a tree, or, you go up the street to the park where there's oaks or maples or eucalyptus or redwoods like we have in California. Just find a tree and you hold the offering in your hand, the cornmeal, the rice, and in your heart, let yourself feel your yearnings for this greater connection that you're seeking with your spiritual path. And know this, you have spiritual helpers. You have a power animal helper. You may not yet know who that is, but they're going to feel your longings. They're going to feel you standing with this tree, with this spirit offering. They're going to know that you're here, wanting to connect with them. And they will be so glad to receive your simple, heartfelt, ceremonial offering to them. So you just sprinkle the offering on the earth, next to the tree, and just feel your immense gratitude, or the beginnings of gratitude, that you've set a foot on this path. You have started your way, or you've taken next steps on your path if you've been here for a while, or you've returned to your path if you've drifted off. You're back. Feel your gratitude as you sprinkle that cornmeal offering onto the ground. You are literally feeding the spirits with your thoughts, with your gratitude, with your appreciation, with your yearnings and your longings for more. And just stand there for a moment and take a breath. That tree is sending you oxygen. You breathe that gift in. And you breathe back out the carbon right to the tree. You've got this circle of giving and receiving. It's just, it's so profound and yet so simple. Take a breath and let it go. Good work. Really good work. I applaud you. So find that Q&A box and, chat into me. Let me know, how did the ceremony go for you? Or did I speak to what you're yearning for? Maybe I overlooked something you'd love for me to speak to in the next podcast. Let me know. This is for you. I'm doing this work for you. So let me know. Let me hear from you. I love that. I would love that. And it really helps other people to see people's comments. It sparks things in them. So you're helping not only yourself and me, but possibly other listeners. So if you're someone who would love some more support, you're at that place in your life, you'd love to have some more support. You'd like help in having a clear understanding of where you are right now on your path. I recommend that you hop on a complimentary breakthrough call with me. And these are on Zoom. They're completely free. You can spend an hour with me, one-on-one contact, where I can help you understand more deeply what are the energetic patterns going on in your life that you need to shift. And then we can talk about some action steps you can take to bridge the gap from where you are in your life to where you would love to be. It's a full 1 hour call, one-on-one with me, where I get to support you in all of this. And then at the end, if we find we're a good fit to work together, we'll talk about programs that I offer in shamanism and vision questing and shamanic healing. But this session is free. It's completely complimentary. And if you feel guided and open and that you would benefit from this kind of direct one-on-one support, just find the little box below the podcast listing and click on the free session from Beth. There's a link there. It's a live link. Goes right to my calendar. And go ahead, find a perfect time. Get signed up. I really look forward to hearing from you if you feel that this would be of benefit to you. I offer 10 or 12 of these every month, and right now there are 3 sessions that are left. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm just thrilled to have this time with you and to present these teachings about the spiritual path and about, introducing you to what might be your first shamanic ceremony. So that's it for now. Looking forward to seeing you again. So that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed listening to this episode as much as I enjoyed recording it. So any questions, any comments, please feel free to connect with me personally on my website, bethbergens.com. And if you feel guided to, one thing that I do ask is for you to rate the podcast. This way we can reach way more people, and in that way impact more lives, of course. So with that, I'll see you on the next exciting Spirituality and Vision Quest podcast.